Hello, everybody. Folks who are just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and
this is Dee.
And we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we're excited you're here with us, and we're excited about all that's going on. Now, for those on Instagram, I'm going to repeat what I said to you because some of the people in the other audiences did not get it. It was live a minute ago, but now it's back. Make love, make money, make it last. The broadcast brought to you by the Jollies. And we want to just say we're trying to help save 1 million marriages and enhance 1 million marriages. I am excited about our marriage book. We recommend you get 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other, or it's one of you want to be a significant other. Go by chapter, discuss the points at the end of each chapter. It will grow your relationship. Then get the bundle, which comes with 2 books, 2 workbooks, audiobook, and a CD seminar. Join the Jollies for the insightful, inspiring, and humorous program on making marriage work. 2 CD live audio. And the many people are excited about my book, A Setback Setup for a Comeback. It is nitroglycerin in a book in terms of turning setbacks into comebacks. And last but not least, new products, the Music and Motivation Power Book. You can get this if you go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com. If you've been depressed, you got anxiety, you feel low, you feel bad, this is like therapy in a package. It is therapeutic, it's regenerative, it's music, it's motivation, it's a story. It takes you from A to B to C to D, and it lifts your spirits. If you need some uplift, you've been struggling. One lady said she had been through a divorce. She was struggling. She needed some uplift. She didn't know what to do. I recommend therapy. But if Dee just said earlier, between getting to the therapist, this is a good alternative. Hey, so get this. You can get it at winwithwillie.com or musicpowerbook.com. And you can get it in the package with 2 CDs, or you can get it with the download. Listen to it. I recommend it. You do it for 30 days. I guarantee you'll see a change in your state and your feeling. We're going to talk about something very important. You know, we've been on this subject of intimacy versus sex. And so many people have continued to ask us the questions. If you got a question, you got a concern, you got an idea, something you need to talk about, email us, info@williejolly.com. We will address it in the next few weeks. But this whole sex and intimacy, there are some issues that are coming up in these emails, and we wanted to talk about it from a women's perspective. Brothers need to listen in, because sometimes, gentlemen, you dumb as rocks. You just dumb as rocks. You don't understand how women think. They're not thinking like a man. They think like a woman, and you got to get with it. So, my beautiful bride,
you're funny,
is going to talk about it. She's going to talk about sex versus intimacy from a woman's perspective.
So why don't you just tell them the difference in intimacy versus sex? We go through it every week.
We got to go through it every week because some people knew. Some people, people join us all over the world. So we are grateful for people who are joining us. Look, here's the difference. Let me tell you what the difference is. Here's the deal. Sex is what typically is on men's minds. Women need intimacy, gentlemen. Intimacy is not always sex. All right, it's not always sex.
So what is it?
It's a warm feeling that is inside of a woman that warms them, that moves them, that emotional stimulation. It doesn't always involve sex. Now, I know the brothers like sex, because steady show that men think about sex 17 times a day. Sometimes even before breakfast, they that they're 17 times thinking about sex. I understand that. Men think about sex, but women need intimacy, that warm feeling. So we're going to talk about it from a woman's perspective.
We going to talk about it, or I'm going to talk about it?
I'm just going to
I'm going to give
I wanted her because, let me tell you why, because she's a straight shooter. Dee Taylor-Jolley, like the lady, Dee was giving a presentation at a women's seminar. And the woman said, I have a question. She said, she's pregnant with her 2nd child. And she says to Dee, my husband's an idiot. And my wife, Dee, said, Well, if he's an idiot,
What does that make you?
What does that make you? Ooh, 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 ooh. So, look, women need to have a straight shooter to tell you what the deal is about intimacy. And
At
gentlemen,
least from my perspective.
from your perspective, all right, why don't you tell them what you think?
Okay, why don't you I'm going to give you the bottom line first.
Give me a bottom line first.
Let's try that.
All right, bottom line first.
Different. Let's just go straight to the bottom line.
Well, you always bottom line.
No, I'm not. I'm subtle. I'm easygoing.
Oh, really?
And this is a delicate subject.
Okay.
And I know how to be delicate and kind.
You do know how to do that.
Subtle. It's work though, but I can do that. Okay.
All right.
So, and I didn't talk to you about this.
No, you didn't.
What my thinking was.
Right? I have not had any conversation with her. Okay.
All right. So.
Okay.
Hear my words.
Hear my words.
Hear my words. Number one, words.
Words.
So, sex from a woman's perspective.
Yes.
The value of words and special language.
Okay.
Playtime together, which doesn't include any artificial things in the body. Okay.
And whose body?
Wow.
Okay.
Exercise for sexual stimulation.
Ooh.
And lubrication.
She bringing it tonight, y'all. Okay, fasten your seatbelts.
No, it's very subtle, but see, it makes you stop and think, right?
Yes, it does make you stop and think. Ooh. All right, so what is a woman's perspective?
Okay. So intimacy versus sex.
Yes.
So we all know what the basic sex act is, but how do you get there? Particularly for the woman. Well, our minds are very important in terms of how the words impact our minds and how the words make us feel. So when I say or think about sex, I think about how you make me feel in terms of the words that you use. And we call it sweet talk.
That's right.
But it's not, it's sweet talk and it's the special language and words that we have, like an inside conversation that nobody else knows but us.
We do have our own conversation, and
a lot of the materials that I have been reading recently talk about the value of couples having their own special language. And I thought about that and I shared it with you. I said, you know what? We laugh together. We have like our own private jokes. We can be in the midst of other people, but there's certain words that we use or how we look at each other, and we know exactly what's going on, and we know how each other feels. That gives you part of that warmth, that loving, that tenderness, and you want to be even closer. Yeah. Because you're sharing something very special.
So let's go back to words, because I want men to learn through this process here. So men, listen carefully. She just said words have an impact on the intimacy that women are longing for and loving, okay? Words, your words have sweet words, not gruff words, nice words.
So maybe you need to go get a book. And because I think oftentimes men don't know what is a sweet word. We talk about that. Sweet conversation. What does that mean? I think depending upon the culture that you come from, the environment, the interaction, you might not really know what the sweet words are that your significant other wants to hear. So how do you find out? Maybe your significant other should tell you.
Go back to communication.
That's communication.
Goes right back to communication.
So then how do they tell you? How do they tell you? That means that each of you really has to be studying the other, because there's certain words that I know that I can use that will positively influence you.
And there are words I can use to get you.
Yes. Right.
All right.
So it is important that you study each other and become sensitive to when you say certain things, how they react.
So let me give you a quick one, brothers. I'll give you a little tip. So you're out with your wife. You got this only works when you're around other people. and someone asks you, how long you been married? Brothers, here's how you answer. Listen carefully. Not long enough. Come on, somebody. Oh, you win when you say that, brothers. You win. Your words. Not long enough.
That's a very tender, sweet thing.
Oh, now I'll tell you what I told Dee one day, and I said it with truth. It came off, or I just said it, and it came out of my mouth, and I realized it. She liked it, and I don't use it. I didn't use it for any manipulation. I just said I was looking for someone who I could live with for many years. And then I found someone I could not live without. She liked it.
Isn't that sweet?
I said that works.
So sometimes you need to memorize a couple of phrases until you really get into the groove of this is how it works.
Absolutely.
Okay, because women like to feel love, not just somebody sticking it in.
Woo! Lord have mercy. I told you she's a straight shooter.
That's not shock. You want to feel the warmth, and that comes with the words even before you get to the touching. So once you get the words, right?
Oh, but feel though. Oh, that's this fine feel. You know, she wants to feel the love. You want to
not from the touching, but from the words.
But how you want to feel it? You want to feel it internally.
Yes.
You want to feel it emotionally.
The words.
The words.
Sometimes even a poem.
Look, people are tying in. She's right. Women build their world around our words. Come on, Brother George. That's right. Eric Heilig. Yep. Hello. Hey, great evening, Brother Heilig. And then Lucretia Bond said, good evening. Yes, yes, yes. That's right. That's right. Olympia said, yes. Love you both. Yes. Women perspective. Amen. Let's talk about it, y'all. Oh, come on. Go ahead, Misty.
You are such a character.
Woo.
So the words.
Okay.
The words that you speak to me. And sometimes it takes practice if you're not used to that. And then you have men who might think that, well, they ought to know.
Oh! Is that good or not? What do you think about that kind of man? Go ahead, tell him.
No,
what happened with
I'm kind.
I know, but what do you think a man when he does that?
He's foolish. He's stupid.
He's stupid.
Because that's not going to help him get laid. Okay? That's not going to help him get laid. Right?
All right now.
So you want time and attention to get to that point where you get your sexual satisfaction, right? And women are coming from a different perspective, but you will meet in the middle if you communicate.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. All right.
Because you care about each other. But it's then that you have to be willing to study your mate.
I study you. That's why I bring you coffee in the morning. Because I'm working on something for the night.
But I also share, but then I'm easy because I also share what I'm feeling. And I had to learn how to do that because I didn't know how to do that.
That's cool.
I would think things but not say it. And I had to be willing to be vulnerable and say, this is what I'm thinking. What?
I wonder where Terrence was. I said, where Terrence tonight? All right. So Terrence, we're talking about a heavy topic here.
So I had to be willing to be vulnerable. And that's another piece of it. You're using your words to express yourself. And you have to be willing to say, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I need. And say it in a fashion that's not intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to intimidate your man.
Like one person we met who told her man, is that all you got?
Well,
drop the ball, drop the mic. Is that all you got after they finished? Know what?
But there was much more going on.
I know, but you can't
just come out.
You can't say that to a brother.
No.
You got to say Hercules.
So then everything dries up.
Everything.
I'm sorry.
All right. Okay.
It shrivels up.
Shrivels.
We don't want that. We do not want that.
No, we don't want that.
We don't want that.
No, we don't want
We
a brother.
want rock solid.
Come on, somebody. Oh, it's on like popcorn up in here tonight.
We're having
All
a
right.
conversation.
We're talking about.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
For those who just joining us, we're talking about sex versus intimacy from a woman's perspective to a satisfying sex life.
So the power of words,
Okay.
the sweet talk, the special private language that we have that makes us connect at another level, even if we're in the midst of, like at a dinner party,
Okay.
like we were the other night. Right.
We were whispering to each other the other night. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so it was just a pleasure to be with you because there was a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Well, anyway, okay. And next I said playtime. You're like, what is that? So playtime is time when you play with your mate. When I say play with your mate, what I had said to you before, you are my favorite play toy. Oh, Terrence at the hospital with his mom. I'll keep you in prayer, Terrence.
Yeah, we keep you prayed up, Terrence.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So, playtime together. Have you considered that your mate could be your favorite or best play toy? If that is the case, then you don't need that artificial things. You know, we have friends. We have a dear friend who is the emergency room physician.
Yes.
And how he talks about all the things that they find when the people come into emergency
and edifices.
Room. Yeah, things that are foreign objects that are in their bodies that
are
a result of other kinds of activities.
Right.
So if you have playtime and your spouse is your favorite toy, you're off to a great start.
Ooh.
So you don't have to buy anything. You can have exploration. Oh, where did that mole or that bump come from? Oh, I didn't know you had a dimple there. Ooh, let me take a look at that. Let me kiss that. How about that? Playtime. So give that some thought. And it could be called foreplay, but I call it playtime because it doesn't always have to lead to sex. It could be just fun exploring.
That creates intimacy.
Yes. My definition.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Next is exercise for sexual stamina. Now, what does that mean? How can you have great sex if both of you are broke down and don't have any energy?
This is true.
Not just that you don't have energy because you worked all day or whatever, but your body's broken down because you don't have strong muscles. I think it takes a bit of muscle strength to have great sex. Don't you think?
I think it does.
How do you go the distance if you don't? What?
Sarah said, your spouse is your favorite toy. Put that on a t-shirt.
I could, but I believe that.
Yeah.
It has worked out that way.
Well, she is a yoga girl, and she'll come home and say, I done had yoga.
Oh, here's intimate goat yoga.
And I'm the goat.
When I wanna mess with him, and I will say, okay, are we gonna do goat yoga this evening? The power of exercise to help to build that stamina so you can have fun and you can go the distance. But in our case, with the yoga, to me, it means climbing up and standing up on him. He's like, so you have to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
But you need to exercise to keep the body together so you can have great sex once you get beyond the intimacy.
All right.
Would you say that that's the case or not?
I would say that's the case.
Okay. And then I had lubrication. What?
What?
Lubrication?
Come on, guys.
Sometimes I need...
He said, I got to listen to this one. Oh, yeah, you do, Terrence. Oh, yeah, you do. You got to hear about what she said. You know, you got to keep it rock solid.
Okay.
Hard as a rock.
So then there's lubrication. lubrication.
Yes.
You say, well, why lubrication? Because a lot of the articles and things that I read, they just flat out lie. Like you've got the 16 to 24 age group, they're always hot and they dripping, right?
Right.
Then you got the next extreme from, like, they say 44 and on, they're kind of drying up, right?
Yes.
And then you got the one in the middle having the babies and everything. I mean, that's just a whole nother arena. So you say, well, what does lubrication have to do with anything?
Yes.
For those of us who might be beyond those childbearing years, and I think there are a whole bunch of us who are still sexually active, the body starts to change.
Yeah.
And as you are premenopausal or even menopausal, the body says, I need some help to keep it moist. So you have to have different things to keep it moist. And then sometimes you have to go to the doctor. You have to have a gynecologist that you can have an honest conversation with, because so many women, I don't know about men, don't want to talk about that to their mates.
Right.
Okay, I do want to have intimacy, but I don't want it to lead to sex, because sometimes the sex is painful. And you might not want to tell your mate that the sex is painful, because you haven't talked to your mate about enough stuff to say, it doesn't mean that I don't want to be sexual with you, but it hurts, right?
Okay.
So you have to have a conversation.
And what do you get?
So you might end up with different kinds of lubricants. You might have over the counter, from castor oil to a gel to vitamin E oil. Some of those are natural things. And then if those are more external versus the kinds of gels and things that the doctor can prescribe to help to make it easier so that you can enjoy the sexual experience.
Woo!
So you have to have a conversation
with
your spouse, your mate, as well as with your doctor.
Okay. Brothers, you know what? Sometimes, brothers, you need to hear this. Terrence said, teach, D, teach. But it's true. We don't know unless somebody tells us that it could be uncomfortable.
And when do you have that? And when do you have that conversation? Do you wait until he's ready to stick it in to have that conversation?
Woo!
Perhaps it's doing the whole kind of getting close and talking and saying, you know what? I got some creams that I think we should try tonight. Let me massage you, or you massage me, and let's see where it goes from there. Women have the capacity and the power to influence their men, but we often don't use that power.
Ooh!
So I'm not saying manipulate. That's different.
But use the power.
Use the feminine power that God gave you to positively influence your mate.
Wow.
And it's how you talk to him. Okay, how he talks to you, but you can influence him with the words to say. Like, I like it when you say this to me.
You
think you would remember that?
I will remember that. This is going to be replayed a lot. I already know this. This is going to be one of our top sellers, one of our top ones. Terry said, I dropped the phone already. Woo! Look, y'all going to want to tell everybody on your list. You got to listen to this. So let's talk about this situation, one of the emails you got, where the woman said her husband, he believed he was a baller. Okay, he was a baller. He thought he was a king of the farm. I mean, you explain it. And she told him what she wanted, how she wanted to be satisfied. And he said, no, you don't need that. I know what I'm doing. It was something to that effect. Something to that. Why don't you explain it?
okay, in that we were at it was actually a church sponsored.
Some of the best, some of the most outrageous stuff we get is from church situations where we're doing seminars.
In this one, the man's wife had died, and I really think it was
the man's wife had died.
The man's wife had died,
Uh-huh.
and the lady that he married, one of the ladies in the church, so excited. Okay, they get married, and she is trying to explain to him, and he's like, "Well, what do you know? I've got this experience." So it just didn't start off well. Where do you go?
Because she tried to tell him how she liked to be.
And I'm not in it. But
let's talk about
that. I'm getting is, but remember what I got was just her side.
I know, but here's what I want to bring up: that one of the keys to women enjoying their sexual experience is be able to communicate. Here's the way I like it. Here's how I like it. Here's what makes me feel good. Here's what moves me. Here's what...
He was just selfish. I mean, how are you going to tell somebody what she don't know what she likes, and you know what?
Because he thought he was a baller.
It's his
ego. So who should take the lead in open communications about intimacy? Great. George asked that question. Who should take the lead?
I think anyone who has the courage, pause to poor communication, something. Anyone who, it doesn't matter who, somebody has to do it.
Now, talk about that a little bit, because that's a great question, but you said this off air, that one of the keys is you think about how you're going to say it to me.
Okay, I had to learn that.
Okay. That's important.
I had to learn that because I've been married before, right? Mm-hmm. And I think part of the challenge, communication. So how do you get inside of that other person so you know them? That's how we were going over a list of things, and I was talking about anticipate. You said, well, you need to explain to me anticipate. And I had to stop and think about it. So it's really, you're studying the person, and then you have to be willing to open up and say, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I feel like I need from you. And it's not like you need to do this for me. This is what I feel like I need.
So go back to the 4S.
Mm-hmm.
Be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused. On a win-win.
On a win-win.
So be frank. Be frank means to tell how you feel. Be friendly, be frank about your feelings. This is how this makes me feel. Mm-hmm. This is how this makes me feel when you do this. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Some of this is positive conditioning. When something happens that you like, you got to say, "Ooh, I like that." Ooh.
And it takes courage to take the initial step to say, let's talk about this. And somebody said, I don't know what program that was, conversation. They said, oh no, when a spouse says,
I want to have a talk.
I want to have a talk with you. That's horrible. I don't think I would like that. But we just say so and so. We talk about anything.
We talk about everything. We just talk. So the answer, George, is how do we do it? How do we do it?
Have to be a special time.
But let's talk about answer that question. Who should take the lead? We both do. If there's something she wants to say to me, she says it. If there's something I want to say to her, I say it. And I say, here's what we should be doing, or here's what I'm looking forward to. Or she'll tell me, you know what? I'm looking forward to you coming in the room because I'm gonna do some goat yoga on you. I say, whatever.
And he starts to laugh.
I start to laugh. We talk, we're open and honest, and we don't wait for somebody to take the lead.
Don't wait for somebody.
No, communication.
It might never happen.
That's right. It might never happen. So just open and honest communication without being critical, without being dogmatic.
Be brave. Somebody has to be brave.
But without being this. Never do this. Say, this is how that makes me feel. Put it back on onus, okay? So I hope that help you, George, to answer that question. Great question, by the way. And Terrence said, if I like chocolate ice cream, why bring me strawberry? Amen.
But you know what? In
Yeah.
my thinking, I would say, well, put some of that chocolate ice cream on your body,
And we'll figure it out from there.
and we'll find a way to get it off.
Woo.
See?
What? All right, now I think our time is just about, let's see how many minutes we had to. Yeah, we had 30 minutes now. Oh, boy, what a show. Wow.
So part of it is also using your imagination.
Yep, you got to use your imagination.
And the words help to get the imagination going.
Woo, Lord have mercy. We talk about a lot of this sex and intimacy in the book, chapter number 8. In the 8th chapter, where we talk about sex, headaches, and other lies, we talk about sex versus intimacy,
I think the
intimacy
bottom line
versus
is
sex. We
you
want you to
should-
go get it.
You should want to be close to the person that you married.
Absolutely.
You should want to be close.
And I want to be close to you.
And so that's what you work on. Just
That's-
always in their space.
That's a great tie-in. You didn't know that.
Terrence is funny.
I'm done, Dee. Pull the car over. Terrence is funny. But she said you should want to be close to your mate. That is our out point. Hey, look, remember that, because we're going to play close to you on the way out. But remember, we got a lot of people who said they were interested in the seminar that we're going to do for $20 is the opening
We're still
registration.
We'll send out
We'll send out
email.
another email
Because
tomorrow
we're slow.
if you're not on our list. But if you're one of those people who said you're interested, we're going to send out an email saying we're ready to get it on, get it going, get it started. The first one is $20. $20 registration. You can't beat that. So if you're not on our email list, then you want to email us at info@williejolly.com and just say, I'm interested. info@williejolly.com. Say, I'm interested. And that will do it. Let's see what else I got to tell you. Remember the things we talked about. Go to jollymarriage.com, get the book, get 2 copies. You'll get it signed. You'll get a signed copy. And so we will send you a signed copy at jollymarriage.com. If you want setback set up for a comeback, go to winwithwillie.com. All my products are there. We are the Jolly Marriage. You can also get the bundle, which has the 2 books, the workbooks, 2 workbooks, audio book, and the CD on seminar on CD. You want to get the whole bundle. And then winwithwillie.com to get, or musicpowerbook.com to get the Music and Motivation Power Book. 2 CDs that will give you inspiration, empowerment, and help you with therapeutic and regenerative power to get over anything not anything, but to help you feel better. That's it. It won't get over everything, but it will make you feel better. I listen to it literally every day to lift my spirit. That's it. We thank y'all. Close to you. I'm going to be close to you tonight. Woo! After that show. I'll see y'all later. Here we go.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.